With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
KFI, Mr. Mo Kelly. It's Later with Mo Kelly. We are live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. And just a bit of news to let you know, we are following that breaking story of Claremont McKenna College in Pomona is presently on lockdown after a single report of a possible shooter. The school sent out a message a little bit before 6 p.m. this evening to staff and students about a quote-unquote potential shooter and advised them to stay away from the area. It went as follows, quote, "A potential threat on CMC's campus was reported to the Claremont Police Department. A shelter-in-place order has been issued while police and public safety ensure the campus is secure," close quote. There has been no activity from what we can tell at this point, just letting you know that we are monitoring the situation. Now, there have been some television news reports, and they've shown several squad cars around what is called the Kravis Center building on campus. And students were also being cleared by law enforcement from what is listed as the Roberts Pavilion. And all classes for Pomona College were canceled due to this police activity. And obviously, this is a developing story. If there should be more, like we were covering with Loma Linda Hospital last night, we'll give you an update on that before the hour is over. If there should be more information, of course, we will pass it along to you, but just letting you know that we're aware of it and we're following it in the KFI 24-hour newsroom. And speaking of other news, look, I didn't decide to live in California to deal with tornadoes. Okay, that was a conscious decision on my part. Part of the reason why I live in California and let's say Alabama or Mississippi or Oklahoma, tornadoes were a consideration. And when I got up this morning and realized that a tornado had touched down in Pico Rivera, I said, might be time to leave. Might be time for me to actually leave up out of California. That might be the straw that broke the camel's back because I'm not dealing with tornadoes. Yes, I know. I remember the one in Montebello, but this is something that I'm going to talk about next segment. Also tonight, you don't want to go anywhere because not only are we going to be giving away Wango Tango tickets. We've been talking about that for the past few days. Wango Tango, that's right. Got a pair of tickets we're going to give away at the bottom of the hour. And then in hour 3, skipping around, we have a family 4-pack of Kids Bop tickets for their live tour, which is going to be coming to the Honda Center in Anaheim in September. Let's say you're a kid at heart. Let's say you have some kids. Kids Bop, it's a great show. It really is a great show. It's a fun show. They have this daddy dance-off, which is hilarious, where they bring the fathers on stage and they do battle in a dancing sense against each other. So we have a pair of Wango Tango tickets that we're going to give away at the bottom of this hour. In fact, JoJo is going to come in and join us again here in studio as we talk about Wango Tango. And then at 9 o'clock in the third hour, we're going to give away some Kids Bop live tour tickets. There is a lot that's going to be going on the show tonight. And it's Tech Thursday, so that means Marsha Collier will be here in studio with us as well. And we have a self-driving car update. And let me just first say good evening, Mark Ronner.
Evening, Mo.
I know you're busy.
No, I'm good.
But Tawala Sharp had the dirty nerve to try to sneak in one positive sounding story about Waymo. It read like a damn advertisement.
Well, what would you expect from Tawala Sharp?
I would expect him to have a degree of fairness and also hand me the other not so flattering stories about Waymo, which hit the news this week.
That would not serve his interests or his bank account.
Well, that's true. That's true. So I helped put it into that, and I put some other stories in the Waymo stack that we're going to be covering in hour 2 after we talk to Marsha Collier. And let's say you were a T-Mobile subscriber. You might be due for a big payout over that 2021 data breach. I've never had T-Mobile. Have you, Mark?
I think that's what I have. I think whatever I had, I had Sprint, and they merged with T-Mobile, and that's what I have now.
That's right. I had Sprint for a number of years, so that may actually 2021. Yeah, that was around the time I switched away from Sprint, so I might have to go back and look at my records.
Wait, so I'm getting some dough? Let's stay focused here.
Well, if you were a T-Mobile customer, quite possibly you're going to have to wait till hour 2 to hear that. But you'll be here. You'll be here.
Oh, that's right. I have no place else to go.
I don't know. Maybe you had something else to do, in the 8 o'clock hour.
I can multitask.
You are a busy guy. And speaking of being a very, very busy guy, I heard you talk about the rain, and I was under the impression that it was supposed to rain tonight. I guess I'm wrong.
That's what I was waiting for. Well, Mo, as you know, the forecast can change from day to day.
Yes, it can.
It's not a thing where you act disappointed if things are not as you were told a week ago.
I thought it was static.
Since we know it's the opposite of that.
Oh, okay.
It's fluid. So it was supposed to rain today, but it's going to rain tomorrow now. Can you live with that? Are we good?
I can, so long as it doesn't change again. Because if it rains tonight as I'm driving home, then I'm going to be very disappointed in you specifically, because you're telling me that it's going to rain tomorrow. And if you can't get it right just a few hours before, I go home, then I might have to come back to the office and we'll have a misunderstanding.
Oh, I don't want that. I don't know how I could cope with your disappointment. But last night was terrible. I drove home in it last night, and not only was it bad it was one of those nights where 2 seconds out in it and you're soaked. And then there's always the one huge drop that goes down the back of your shirt. Last night was awful.
It was only awful for me the last 5 minutes of my drive. I got home closer to 11 o'clock. That's when it started raining for me. But prior to that, it was pretty clear. So that means I know for you, when you were leaving, because you're leaving most times after midnight, it probably was unbearable.
Not recommended, and especially not if you're stopping, say, theoretically at the In-N-Out drive-thru as well.
In theory, hypothetically.
Yeah, if one were to do such a thing.
But is there a better time to stop at In-N-Out, honestly?
Didn't want to cook.
And when I go to In-N-Out, I rarely go through the drive-thru. I will get out the car, and if it was raining, you probably don't want to, but I usually will get out the car and walk inside, because I'll probably get my food much quicker than if I'm waiting in that long line of cars.
It was an evening of no good options. You weren't going to be pleased whichever direction you chose.
I haven't had In-N-Out in such a long time. I think the last time we had In-N-Out, I think Stefan went and got us some In-N-Out or something like that.
I was trying to use some Jedi mind control last night, but I couldn't get anybody here to go get it for us.
You should have just said it, and we would have. If you say it early enough in the evening, we'll be talking ourselves into hunger, and then making our way to the decision of getting some In-N-Out.
Oh, I even tried to get the nice load lady to go get it for us, but she was like, "Nah, you're on your own."
That sounds so wrong.
What I meant was
Tiffany Hobbs.
Yes, that's what I meant.
When we come back, we got to talk about that tornado which touched down in Pico Rivera. And at the bottom of the hour, JoJo is going to join us in studio. We're going to give away 2 tickets to Wango Tango. And also, we'll end up the hour talking about that Loma Linda Hospital swatting. And I want to tie this into what's happening right now at Claremont McKenna. That college is on lockdown because of a possible shooter. There hasn't been any new information, but we are following that story. And I wonder, and I'm speculating out loud, I'm wondering if we might see more of these types of incidents which are not leading anywhere. But there's nothing new to report on Claremont McKenna at this moment, but we are following it. It's Later with Mo Kelly, KFI AM 640, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
And I meant what I said last segment. Tornadoes, that's where I draw the line. That right there, not fires, not floods, not mudslides, not earthquakes. Tornadoes will have me pack my ish and go. Maybe because I've spent my whole life dealing with tornadoes. Maybe because I can see fires, and for the most part, we can't predict fires, but there are things that you can do to fight fires. Tornadoes, you don't get much warning, and all of a sudden, they're on you. We had a tornado touch down in Pico Rivera, and thank goodness there wasn't extensive damage, but there was some damage. It was an EF0, and on a tornado scale, that is the lowest powerful tornado. So thank goodness for that. But if there should be a change going forward, that there are going to be more tornadoes, more frequently, or more powerful, or more devastating. Stephan, you're my witness. Tuala's my witness. Mark Ronner's my witness. We'll have a podcast to verify this. I am leaving California.
And where are you going to move to?
Doesn't matter. Somewhere where there are no tornadoes. I might move to Seattle. I'd rather deal with rain than tornadoes. I'm serious. That's where I draw the line.
Mo, you are not taking into consideration the worst part about the entirety of the tornado. Okay, I've seen them. I know what they're all about. You haven't taken into consideration that if we have tornado season mixed with fire season, we're going to have a fire-nado.
Well, not to be funny, but we pretty much kind of had that in January when you saw the high.
That's what I'm saying. If you saw what that fire looked like when it was just blowing
sideways, horizontally.
Imagine it swirling and coming at you. It's not out of the realm of possibility.
Didn't some of the fire officials actually use that word?
I believe so, but I have to go back and check. But that was part of the reason with the Santa Ana winds why these fires were basically unfightable. I know that's not a word, but I'm saying there was not much that they could do because of the winds.
The whole house shook, and then there was just rumbling everywhere.
It woke us up, the sound, you could hear hail, and then all of a sudden you heard a real hard wind.
And then everybody in the house woke up, and everybody's like, did you hear that? What's going on? I go, I think we just had a tornado.
Thursday morning, meteorologists with the National Weather Service confirming the storm did in fact spawn an EF0 tornado, which touched down with wind speeds of about 85 miles per hour.
85 miles per hour. No, thank you. No, thank you. That was a real, we're not talking about, just like a dust wind,
Yeah.
No, it's an actual freaking-nado in Pico Rivera.
Of about 85 miles per hour.
This is the lowest of the ratings on the rating scale. It still is.
I don't care. I don't care if it's the lowest. If the lowest is 85 miles an hour, that still could kill someone. Did you see some of the damage? It was uprooting huge trees and throwing them on cars.
That's enough.
That's enough. I don't need to see an F1 or an F2.
This is the lowest of the ratings on the rating scale. It still is damaging. It still impacted many people.
The twister's path 1 mile long. Toppled trees.
Wait, it was 1 mile. That's a long way when you think about it. And from what I understand, it was down for 2 minutes. Now, we know that an earthquake, just 30 seconds long, feels like an eternity. Imagine a tornado for 2 minutes. That's longer than a Mark Ronner newscast. 2 minutes.
Is that your unit of measurement now? Thank you for that. Let's just say theoretically, we're told by people who may be actual experts in the subject that we're going to be faced with more and more extreme weather events in the near future. Which way do you think this is going to go?
Not better.
No.
Probably worse.
Yeah.
Because all the evidence and data and science is pointing in the direction of, more wind events, more fires, more floods, just all bad stuff. Wrath of God stuff. Cats and dogs living together. Mass hysteria.
Many people.
The twister's path 1 mile long. Toppled trees, down power lines, and damage to home and cars scattered across 4 blocks.
An EF0 scattered across 4 blocks. Trees, cars. if this happened maybe in the middle of the day, we might have seen more extensive damage, or people could have been hurt, or worse. I think we were fortunate, maybe because it was in the middle of the night and you didn't have the street traffic. From what I understand, it was basically going right down the street.
Toppled trees, down power lines, and damage to home and cars scattered across 4 blocks.
It's pretty heartbreaking. You know, it's our family car, my mom's car. That's around the time my mom leaves for work. So thank God she wasn't out here because, you know, a car is replaceable. My mom's not.
I draw the line at tornadoes. I want no part of them. Tuala, I've never seen a tornado, but that's something I probably would start tripping out on. My mother's family lived in Detroit. Not often you'd see the tornado there, but in the Midwest, and Mark Ronner knows this, in East Coast, and you know this living in Erie, people had basements.
Yep.
It was just a different understanding. For the most part, people don't have basements out here. There's nowhere for us to go. You're just kind of there.
When you see that funnel coming down, you tighten up just a little bit. You get real tight.
You can't outrun it.
You can't outrun it, and you start to rethink your life decisions. You say to yourself, why am I out here? Why am I dealing with this? There's no way in hell. You know what? If we survive this, we're moving. All of that happened. All of that happened. The funnel came down. The klaxon alarms were going off. Our neighbors are screaming, go into your basement. Go get in your... It was absolute wild. Yeah, live that. It was absolute insanity.
Mark, did you deal with that in Indiana?
I did, and I had to cover the aftermath of some tornadoes where people had their homes, their businesses destroyed, some people killed. I'll tell you this, as a public service, no matter what you've seen in a movie, if you spot a tornado, don't chase it with your truck.
I've never seen a funnel cloud actual touchdown. I've seen some water spouts out on the ocean, you know, not too far from San Pedro. That's it. It's not the same.
Avoid trailers as well. I guess I'm a little bit joking.
It's not a solid foundation, I know.
But I have covered trailer parks that have been absolutely destroyed in tornadoes. And yeah, they don't hold up real well. You want to avoid that kind of thing. If you live in one, and there's a trailer park near where I live in North Hills, get out of there if you have a report that a tornado's on the way.
I wonder what type of warning system we would have, because we have a so-called, and I say so-called because you only get like 3 or 4 seconds warning, so-called warning system for earthquakes. You know, we'll get the alert on our phone. More and more often, we're getting the alerts for the earthquakes.
Does it give you time to even put your pants on, though?
No, because the 2 times that I have received an earthquake alert, it was simultaneous to the start of the earthquake. So it didn't do me any good other than validating, yes, this is not a truck driving by. This is not a cherry bomb going off in the neighborhood. This is an actual earthquake. That's all it did for me. It was just confirmation.
Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah.
I don't know what I would do to all. No.
If they start having tornadoes in California on a regular basis, I don't know if this is the place to be anymore. I just don't know. I don't know.
No, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm being serious. Like, people didn't believe me for the first 4 or 5 years where I was talking about with bees and an actual phobia. I'm being 100% serious. 100%. If I were to see an actual tornado in Southern California, I would start making my plans to have a renegotiation with KFI to be able to do my show remotely from some non-tornado area, like Arizona or something like that. I don't know, but I'd be looking for a different residence.
You're not going to be making any plans. You're going to be making peace with your creator.
You see a tornado.
You're not wrong.
You see a tornado out in your area, it's a problem.
Look, Pico Rivera is not far enough away. I need it to be in a different state.
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to plan ahead. We buy a shipping container. You can get those for $2 or $3 grand. Have a hole dug in the backyard of your estate, and there's your shelter.
Yeah, it's not going to fit in my backyard. Tuala's seen my backyard. It's not going to fit.
Okay, I thought the Mo Kelly villa was larger than
it's that. Chateau Le Mo.
My mistake.
Okay? Goodness gracious.
1,000 pardons.
JoJo Wright joins us in studio next. We got 2 Wango Tango tickets to give away. So you might want to stick around.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
And joining me in studio is JoJo Wright. You know him,
What's up,
KIIS
hey?
FM, 3 to 7 p.m. weekdays. JoJo, it's good to talk to you again, man.
How you been? You good?
Doing good. People don't know. We were just talking off air about different people that we've worked with, time in the business, music industry. What do you make of your time in this business?
It's a loaded question. I mean, I think I started at KIIS FM in 97. And I'm coming up mid 97. I've been on KIIS almost, well, it's coming up on 30 years. If you can believe that. I'm 100. I know.
That's almost unheard of, because I always say you haven't worked in this business until you've lost your job in this business.
I've been fired before.
Okay.
I got fired in San Francisco, up in the Bay Area. And then I was on vacation in LA.
Wait, you got fired while on vacation?
I worked in the Bay.
I
came down to LA. Yeah, no, you have to. I came down to LA just to chill, and they when somebody fills in for you, they do your bits, like filling in for Mo and it's Mo's top 9, whatever. When these guys went on for me, they changed all the bits, so I thought something's up.
That's disrespectful.
It is, and they fired me. I got fired. I was on vacation in LA. Now, eventually, they got booted, and I went back up to there.
That's like a scene out of the movie Friday.
Crazy. It's just, I mean, I'm telling the story terribly right now, but it's just I got fired while on vacation on my day off, lounging in LA. That's when I worked once again in the Bay, though.
The reason I have you on, obviously, Wango Tango is coming up real soon, but tickets actually go on sale tomorrow at 10 a.m. on AXS.com. Now, let's go through some of these names that are going to be on the bill. We're going to give away a pair of tickets at the end of the segment. When I say Doja Cat,
what do I think? Doja Cat?
Because you probably interviewed most of these folks.
I've interviewed, I think everybody on this list I've talked to. Yeah. I've interviewed Doja Cat just once or twice at the iHeartRadio Music Festival. And I don't know her. I want to get to know her better because she's such a huge artist and she's super nice. But only talked to her just a couple of times. The last time being, like I said, in Vegas at the iHeart Festival. Gwen Stefani, I've known her forever, just like you have.
I wouldn't say I know her, but I worked with her when she was at the beginning of her career when I was working at Interscope Records. I have nothing bad to say about her.
She is awesome. Yeah. And she's as sweet as you remember. She's the best. Megan Trainor. She's performing at Wango Tango. Megan Trainor used to come to our daughter's dance studio. She had a niece at the same studio, so I've seen Megan for years. David Guetta interviewed him, for years as well. They're all doing extended sets, so it's not the typical like festival sets or radio sets, which is a couple of songs. They're doing extended sets. Those 4 artists. And Gwen is performing at Sunset. So we're on the beach. I don't know if you mentioned that or not.
Oh yes.
We're on the beach. So imagine Gwen Stefani in Orange County, Huntington City Beach, on the beach at sunset. That's just kind of perfect, in my opinion.
That's got to be a beautiful sight, saying nothing of the music. A beautiful experience, I'll say, big picture.
100%. So, and we've never done this on the beach, so we're pumped about that. A group called Cat's Eye, they'd fall into the global pop category, not K-pop, but a lot of K-pop fandoms love Cat's Eye, but they'd be referred to as a global pop group. And K-pop, I'm into the K-pop scene. I do a K-pop show on the weekends around the country, and there's a group called Xikers, Xikers, called Xikers. Fans are going crazy. The K-pop community loves Xikers. There's a group called NMIX. Xikers is a guy group. NMIX is a girl group. They're going to be there. Hearts to Hearts, that's a young K-pop group, girl group. They just basically launched, and this is their first, I believe it's their first performance in the U.S. And a group called A2O May. They're from China. And they will be doing their debut performance in the States as well, I believe. So
let me ask you this, because I think you have enough history and perspective to be able to answer this. Why do you think K-pop specifically has caught on with such fire here in the United States?
I think the why, I don't know, but it's similar to the boy band boom, Backstreet, NSYNC, early 2000s. It's just like that. The only difference is BTS is king of the food chain when it comes to the K-pop scene, and they'll be back as a group later this year or early next year because they're still, some of the members are still in the military, but they're king of the food chain. But there are so many groups in the K-pop space and global pop space that are just huge. Whereas back in the day, I don't think there were as many moving the needle as much. But why? I don't know. I think it's the same thing as great choreo, great harmonies.
Right.
You fall in love.
The
with your favorite
musicality. I love the musicality of it.
The production of the K-pop space, and I say K-pop, I should say global pop space. It's pretty phenomenal. So once you get into it, I've fallen in love with it, and the people as well.
I'm not going to hold you all night because you just had a whole show from 3 to 7 p.m. Then you come downstairs and sit and talk to us. Look, we both love our jobs, but it still can be pretty demanding, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's today. Well, today's my day today. I got here pretty early. I interviewed a guy named Damiano David. This has nothing to do with K-pop or Wango Tango, but Damiano is the lead singer of the group Måneskin. They're from Italy. But he's doing his solo thing. So Damiano came in early this morning, take it back, about 1 o'clock today. Then about 5 o'clock, in the middle of my radio show, I'm kind of doing two things at once. A group from Japan came in called JO1, and there's 11 members in the group. Plus, when you think hair and makeup,
that's a baseball team.
It's a baseball team, yeah. And like 25 members total as far as hair and makeup. And then they had the camera crew from Japan. I think it was the way I forget the name of the network, but they said it was the equivalent of like a CNN in Japan, like a huge, network came in to film everything they do. They're filming them as they walk around the States. And
so that's what I saw. There were a lot of people. Today.
So that's my day today. And tomorrow morning, jumping on KTLA to talk about Wango Tango. So they got me working, Mo.
Well,
what the heck?
Look, earn your money. Well, This is what I need from you. I need you to choose a number between 1 and 10 because we're getting ready to give away a pair of tickets right now to Wango Tango. We told you about the artists Doja Cat, Meghan Trainor, David Guetta, Cat's Eye, Inmix, Psychers, A2O May, Hearts, Two Hearts, and of course Gwen Stefani on the beach, Huntington City Beach, as the sun goes down.
Let's do this, man. 1 through 2. It's funny. I was talking to Tim yesterday, and I was debating on what number to do. And we normally do 102 because KIIS FM 102.7. I thought, man, you can't do 640 calls.
That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of work.
Caller 12, caller number 13, caller number 457.
Oh my God! So 1 through 10, I think that's a nice range. Let's go number 7.
If you're caller number 7, you and a guest will be going to iHeartRadio's Wango Tango.
Yeah.
Huntington City Beach. Great lineup. Superstar lineup. JoJo Wright. Thank you, my brother.
I really appreciate your time. By the way, tickets on sale, general public on sale tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Access, like you said, AXS.com. Mo, you're awesome, dude. I love what you do. Congrats on everything. I know your 30-year anniversary, all that stuff, So,
one of these days we need to tell some of our stories that we were talking about off air.
Let's do it.
But on air.
Oh.
The ones that we're allowed to tell. Because there's some stuff that we can't tell if we want to continue to work in this business.
When people tell you, like, to say, hey, Mo, give me a wild story. Give me like your elevator pitch, your 10-second. I'll give you my wildest one, but give me your...
It's really inappropriate, and I think you would think different of me. I've told it on air. It's one time we went to Miami and we were I was working for Interscope Records. We were promoting the first Eminem album, and I got the platinum plaque at home to prove it. And what we did is my job was I had to go out and find some entertainment for DJs that we were playing the Eminem album for. This was at the Impact Music Convention in Miami. Man. You know where this story is going.
Oh, I know. It involves dollar bills or something.
Oh, you're very close. So I hired local entertainment to come in, and there was a contest. Okay, I'm just going to tell the story. There was a contest, and we had all these DJs kind of in a circle, and we had a talented individual match up with each DJ. And there was $1,000 prize for the first DJ who could, let's say, reach the apex of the mountain.
Shut up.
True story.
Oh,
and I think my producer, Tuwala, was not in the room, but he was at the convention. True story.
I heard he was in the room.
I'm not going to tell that.
I heard he was in the room. That's what that's what.
But yes, there was a winner, and that winner received $1,000 because he was the first to reach the finish line.
Oh, my
Your turn.
Mine is not so risque. 2003, Neverland Ranch was in a cake fight with Michael Jackson.
Oh, you win.
I mean, I didn't throw cake. He threw cake on. I was hosting. It was a fundraiser They had 2 fundraisers, daytime and nighttime. I got to host the nighttime fundraiser. And basically, I didn't think Michael was going to be there. I thought he'd just, wave it in the distance or just, whatever. Sure enough, he shows up and cake fight. They brought a cake out. And I saw him hand a piece of cake to a little girl or whoever it was. And I had the mic. I'm like, oh, man, we're going to have a cake fight. I can just feel it. And sure enough, him and Nick and Aaron Carter start going back and forth. Cake starts flying. He turns to me, and he pauses because he clearly doesn't know me, I said something to the effect, and then I'm sure there's a video that would, just be the most embarrassing thing ever. But I said, hit me, Michael. He goes, are you sure? I'm like, yeah. And he smashed.
I like what you did there.
Yeah, he smashed his cake on me, and that was kind of it. And I was basically in a cake fight.
That's
with
the
Michael
only
Jackson.
person I never had the opportunity to meet in this business. I've met everyone that I wanted to meet, couldn't meet, from Janet, Tina Turner on down.
Wow.
Every single one. But I never got a chance to meet Michael. Now, I was in like the 4th row at the Victory concert.
The Victory
at Dodger Stadium. So I was like 14 at the time.
Wow.
So, but I never got a chance to meet him.
You should meet, I know his son, Prince. And one of these days, he has a charity called Heal LA. You should have him on one of these days and meet Prince. I'll set it up if you like. I'll call him.
100%. Let's set it up.
Done.
JoJo Wright, great to see you.
Mo, you're awesome. Thank you, man.
KFI AM 640. We're live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
We just gave away a pair of tickets to Wango Tango, courtesy of JoJo Wright of our partner station, KIIS FM. But there's other stuff that we're going to be giving away tonight as well. At the top of hour 3, the Kids Bop Kids will be joining the show. We're going to be giving away a family 4-pack at the top of the 9 o'clock hour to a lucky listener for the Honda Center Anaheim show, which is going to be on September 20th. So do not go anywhere. I did want to follow up on the Loma Linda hospital incident, if you will, last night, and how it was the result of a swatting call.
A massive law enforcement presence at Loma Linda Medical Center just after 6 o'clock Wednesday evening after someone called in saying they were planning on shooting patients at the Children's Hospital. The San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department was immediately notified and the hospital placed on lockdown.
I actually was just waiting here and I just heard all the sirens coming out here, the helicopters, and then everybody coming in here, all the police just running in there. And then it kind of freaked me out.
Jonathan Alvarado was about to pick up his partner who works inside.
I was on the computer in my patient's room, and then the code screen comes up, and then we have work phones, and it says this is not a drill, this is a real. And they're using the terms hide, run, and fight, and it's it's alerting when you hear that. And of course people are talking and rumors are going, and you don't know what's real. So I was scared.
Staff was told to shelter in place while deputies checked every floor and every room. The ordeal lasted almost 2 hours, but no shooter was found and no victims. The sheriff calling this a false swatting call.
Many of these things, the suspects mask these through IP addresses from places that could be even outside the United States or in other countries.
I started the show tonight indicating that there was another incident with Claremont McKenna College, and we were looking to see if there was any more information on that. The campus is still in lockdown, but there's been no evidence of any actual shooter on that campus, and we'll follow that and see if there's any connection. I'm not saying there is, but we'll see if there's any connection to the Loma Linda swatting incident. Before we go to break, Tuala Sharp has some other news he wants to share.
Breaking news, because tomorrow is Pi Day, and you know how much we absolutely love pizza. Well, Dave Weiss, our stalwart leader of all things promotions here at iHeart, period, he came through. He reached out to our favorite pizza place, Shakey's, and he has secured gift certificates for you for tomorrow night's Name That Cult Classic movie game. Oh, my God.
So people are going to play the game.
Yes.
And they're going to get free pizza.
They are going to get free pizza. And don't forget the Mojos.
Oh, word.
$50 gift certificates to
Wait. $50 for each winner?
For each winner.
You know I like to give away free stuff.
Yeah,
but this is $50 gift certificates for each winner tomorrow night.
2 Shakey's. Can you dig it?
$50. That means we're getting pizza from Shakey's tomorrow night, right? For us to eat in the studio?
Absolutely.
Okay, I would hope so.
Oh, word?
Wait a minute. No black olives, please. No mushrooms. No anchovies. Just got to get that stuff out the way right now. Okay? I don't want no misunderstandings.
If I understood that right, extra black olives.
Racist.
KFI AM 640. We're live everywhere, the iHeartRadio app.
Ignorance is bliss. We have zero bliss. Completely blissless.
KFI.
And KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio